Hello, angel babies. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Trisha, and this is Trisha's Temple. Today, we are going to be talking about how you can gamify your life to level up. Although, the first message of this video is that what I mean by leveling up is not that you are somehow lower on the rung of the ladder and you need to climb the ladder to reach some level of success, but more so that like if you were playing a game that you wouldn't want to stay in one area of that game forever and never move on, you would eventually get bored in that one level of the game and you would want to explore other areas of the game. So that's what this video, this reading is going to be about. It's about what level are you currently in your life? What experiences have you been having and how are you currently gamifying your life? And how could you continue to amplify that gamification, if you will, to experience other things that you have been wanting to experience? So let's look at our options. First, we have this magician card. I chose all magicians because I feel like that gives the energy of games for some reason. So we got this guy for pile 1, bunny. 2 kind of reminds me of Aladdin with his genie lamp. And then we have this raccoon magician. And then last but not least, this witchy alchemist magician with the powerful cat on the table. All right, so take all the time that you need. We'll get a little bit more into this reading synopsis in your individual readings. I'm so excited. See you in your reading. Love you. Bye. Hi, pile 1. If you chose this cool bunny card, then this is your reading. Whoa. For this reading, we're going to look at, well, first, I think it would be fun if you created some sort of game board for yourself. And obviously, you don't have to. If you're just like, nah, like, girl, I just want to listen to the reading, then that's totally fine. But you could create a bingo card or play I Spy during this, like create a list of words that you are like, oh, I want to look for this or that. Or even create like a crossword if you wanted, or somehow play tic-tac-toe. Just to gamify this reading for yourself. That would be really fun. It's kind of like when people say that they play bingo for like a family event. They're like, oh, I know this is gonna happen, so they plan ahead and write out different things that are going to happen at their family party. And then we're going to look at your current level and how you're already gamifying, what your next level is, and then how you can bridge the gap to gamify even more and experience more things that you've been wanting to experience. Then we're going to look at some of the pitfalls that you can look out for, as well as some cheat codes and power-ups that you might be able to access to help you along your way. So let me grab your cards, lay them out. This is going to represent, along with this, your current level, the swamp, and this represents your next level. We'll put that over here. And then this is how you can bridge the gap between them. So your next level is freedom, and to bridge the gap is connection is the only game. Okay, so we're gonna start there. It's making me laugh that your current level is the swamp. Are you a swamp creature? It's making me think of the people who are talking about being like a gremlin or a goblin in their life, and just fully embracing the fact that we don't always need to do things so beautifully or aesthetically, and kind of embracing the more grungier or like less like well made up parts of our lives, and just being comfy and hibernating. Perhaps you are feeling like you're a little bit stuck in the mud. Maybe you're feeling like things are a little bit heavier or harder to move through in terms of like that you have like a dense energy. Maybe you feel like you have a storm cloud hanging over you, or that there is something that you would like to remove from your life, but you're not exactly sure how to like return and like get access to your sword again, your power. But right now you are just hanging out in the swamp, and that's okay. That you're living your best goblin core life, if you will. And that is a really important part of your journey. Let's get some clarification on this part of your journey. Four of Wands, interesting. Okay, is this in? Yeah. Four of Wands. You know, this with the swamp with the Four of Wands, it's making me think that maybe there was something related to a dream that you had related to love, or like a home, or like that feeling of coziness and connection and how you would like things to be. And you're realizing it doesn't have to look so like you're redefining for yourself what success looks like. You're redefining the way that you celebrate even, and enjoy the little moments or the larger moments. Like, let's say you are somebody who used to have some like big traditions, or have an idea of how you wanted the holidays to look. And now you are creating your own version of that that actually supports or is more in alignment with your values and with your energetic system. That, like, for you, you're like, you know what, like, I don't actually enjoy hanging out with the people that I used to hang out with or spend time with during the holidays, and I don't have to do that anymore. Like, maybe it's okay if I spend time with like my small group of people, or even just with myself on like the actual day of the holiday, and I spend time with other people on a different day. Or maybe it's okay if I give gifts to people on just a random Tuesday because I feel like it. You know, like whatever it looks like for you, that you're redefining what it means to love from a place of authenticity, from a place of just like that deep centered part of yourself, instead of it feeling so performative. That's the message that I'm getting for like where you are right now, which is so beautiful. And I think that it is really going to bring you to that place of freedom that is your next level. That maybe it doesn't feel super free right now. Like maybe you are still feeling some level of resistance, or like you still have to follow some of the rules that were laid out. Or like, oh, like I still do need to go to this certain family gathering, or I still do need to go to this work event or something. But more and more you're letting go of that, and maybe you're a little bit in that liminal phase. Okay, so let's look at how, like, what this next level looks like for you. This freedom. It does seem like it's going to feel, it's interesting that there's this elephant, and he is under this umbrella. Like, you wouldn't necessarily think of like a storm, being out in a storm, as freedom. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you're somebody who just loves to like sing and dance in the rain, and that's total freedom to you. But this could also look a little bit like sadness or grief if you just looked at it for like at face value. But you could also see that when you pull away from it, you back up, that the elephant has the ability to move away from that one cloud, or could go underneath the umbrella, or could move towards these flowers, or could enjoy the rain. Any of those options are available. And I think that you are somebody who makes the most of what you've been given, of what's been handed to you. That you've probably dealt with a lot of really challenging stuff, really heavy shit, and it doesn't always feel like maybe you receive the recognition for that, or that you even have the support that you would like. But I think that you're finding more freedom in like this next level is a freedom in you being able to view your world through so many different lenses. It's like the true alchemist, the true magician, really, that you have experienced so many different rebirths and heavy things that have taught you how to turn those challenges into opportunities, into, like, it's like there's no, what's that quote? It's like there's no flowers without the rain. And you're feeling that true now I'm seeing an elevator. It's like you're getting on the elevator and you're going up to the penthouse. And for you, it's about a true connection to yourself, which is you're then able to offer more connection or experience more connection with other people. Yeah. All right, let's get a little bit more clarity on this next level. 9 of Cups. Yeah. That's like your ultimate emotional fulfillment. That this next level, the 8 of Cups is your true emotional fulfillment. And this card actually had fallen on my lap, so we're gonna bring this out too. The Mentor. And I think that you are not only going to be a mentor to other people, but you are able to, like I said earlier, pull learning and almost like siphon the wisdom from everywhere around you. It's interesting that we have the elephant here and the elephant there. You are unlocking this part of you that is just a continuous flow of nurturing energy, of, oh my goodness, supportive energy. Burp, confirmation burp. That you're going to feel like you've got it in the bag in so many ways, that you're a mermaid flying on a winged creature, that you can create things with greater ease because you don't feel so disconnected from what your heart or your inner world is saying to you, that when you do feel a little bit more murky, you know how to what's the word? To connect to yourself. I think that how you're gamifying currently, like I said earlier, is through putting on it's almost like embodying a different personas or creatures, or like a role playing of it, and that is helping you move through this like more challenging time and exploring different archetypes of yourself that have maybe been neglected. Like I said, like this swamp creature, this goblin or gremlin aspect of you, the part of you that's like, nah, like I don't want to brush my hair or whatever. And that this new level version of you, that's the way that you're gamifying or going to be gamifying, is through seeing the magic in all of the little details. It's going to be a lot of like almost telling a story through everything that you see. Like, let's say you're going on a walk and you see an arch in the trees that you like pass under, and then you are like telling yourself that you're passing through a portal. It will be like little things like that every part of your day feels even more like mystical and fun and playful, because you're turning it into like this magical fairy realm or whatever type of world that you would want to live in. Like this card with all of the birds and the bees, all the creatures are flocking to this elephant. And I think that that's what it's going to feel like, that all of the signs and synchronicities, the way that the universe speaks to you, is just going to feel even louder because you're paying more attention, that it's more apparent to you. And you're also going to feel even more grateful for all of it. And this connection is the only game card feels like this great bridge between your two levels, because you're connecting deeply with your inner world right now, and it's going to support you in connecting more with your outer world, with the 3D world in your next level. And that it's kind of going to have this feedback loop of the more that you're connecting with your inner world, the more you're seeing that in your 3D, and then the more you're experiencing that in your inner world, and vice versa, and going to continuously like flow through you. There's going to be a lot less stagnant energy or resistance. Okay, let's look at some of the pitfalls that you might experience or some cheat codes and power-ups. We have your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. We have carnelian, energy, leadership, and creativity. Okay. So what I'm getting from these cards is first that you might be looking at some of the colors that you're wearing, like maybe you are drawn to wear more red, or just some of the different like little details in your life. Like maybe you like to use candles or incense or crystals, little things like that just bring more like little zest of magic into your day, and including more of your senses. And those will be like these major power-ups, major cheat codes, because they help you to channel more of your magic. And that you are finding what works specifically for you. So like, let's say you really love working with like your personal, like if there were like personal aspects of your style, or that maybe that's not your thing, but you really love cooking in a certain way. It's kind of reminding me of like how they have different types of witches, where it's like maybe you're a green witch, or maybe you're a like a water witch, or like different, like the different elements or different areas of the home, a kitchen witch, or something like that. And just tuning in and learning a little bit more about what lights you up, what energizes you. And those are going to be your cheat codes and power-ups along the way. For this one, that your commitment is being tested, it reminds me that you will have things coming along your path, and you might have an experience of like, oh, that's making me feel like angry, or that's making me feel uncomfortable in some way. And those emotions are going to feel intense, and that's a good sign, because that is showing you that you are in tune with your energetic system, and that you have been doing the work to connect to yourself. And when it says your commitment, it's like, let's say you had been writing a list or creating this vision of what you wanted your life to look like. And then someone comes along and they're like, hey, I have an idea for you. Or they like give you an offer that doesn't match up with what you had envisioned for yourself. And then you start like second guessing yourself. I don't think that that's what's going to happen for you. I think that you are going to be like, you might experience anger, you might experience frustration, you might be a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe you will have a moment of like, oh, should I do what they're offering me? But I think it's going to be very quick, a quick turnaround for you where you're like, nah, I know what I want. I have this vision for myself. I've been preparing for this. I've been planning for this. And this test, so to speak, I don't even really like that terminology, phrase, is going to just be more evidence to you that what you want is what you want. And if it didn't elicit that response of anger, if it didn't elicit a feeling of discomfort, then it wouldn't be like, it wouldn't be putting you on that path, if that makes sense. I heard it put this way, that if something is for you, it will hit you with a freight train of truth. This was actually from Aso Tarot. Shout out to her. She's amazing. It will hit you with a freight train of truth. And if it is not for you, it will make you feel confused, maybe frustrated or angry, disgusted even. And you know yourself best. Like, you know how your energetic system speaks to you. So listen to it. And I think that those are the messages. Those are the what's the word? The biggest quote unquote pitfalls that you have to look out for is when someone comes along or something comes along that might look shiny for a second, but I don't think that you are going to be that deterred. That you actually have a lot more what's the word I'm looking for? The first word that came to my mind was solidarity, but that's not the right word. It's like when you're very like steadfast or like resolute in your plan, you know what you want and how to get it. And I think that you're going to have a lot more fun along the way, exploring your relationship, your language with the universe, and all of these like little details. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, Pile 1. I've had fun doing this reading for you. If you have enjoyed this reading, I would appreciate it if you would like, comment, subscribe, and stick around for future readings. If you would like a personal reading, check out the links in the description. Love you. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose this magician card that looks like Aladdin, then this is your reading. We are going to look at, well, first, I am going to invite you to play a game during this reading. So you could set up a bingo card that has some things that might come up during the reading, your guesses, or similarly like an I Spy, like list of words, or even a crossword, maybe. I don't know. I think probably I Spy and bingo are your best options. We're going to look at your current level, like where you are right now, and how you are already gamifying in your life, and your next level, and how you can gamify to bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to go. Then we're going to look at some pitfalls that you can look out for, as well as some cheat codes and power-ups. that you could use to help you along your journey. Okay, let's get your cards. This is going to be where you are right now, your current level. This is your next level. And this is the bridge between the two. Let's start with that. So, where you are right now, the house. You know, this card reminds me of the Wizard of Oz and how the house is dropped on the Wicked Witch. And I actually just barely watched the second half of Wicked yesterday. And I feel like that part of the story just is so interesting. Maybe where you are right now is feeling like you have been I'm picturing when Alphaba and Galinda are fighting, actually. And I'm wondering if maybe things are not what you expected them to be. And that you might be somewhere just gaining your bearings, so to speak. Checking out your surroundings and getting used to this environment. Maybe you did move to a new house. Maybe you kind of feel like you got transported to a new place and time. But what you're experiencing right now is almost like a fresh start, but you're trying to figure out what to do with that fresh start. That you're maybe a little bit in the goo phase, so to speak. If you don't know what I mean by the goo phase, it's like between when the caterpillar goes in the chrysalis and becomes the butterfly. It's in the goo phase. There's so much potential. There's so much possibility for what it will become, but it has not yet become the butterfly. So maybe you are still inside the house. You have not yet stepped outside of this house, and the house would represent a place that you feel more comfortable, even if it is growing quite uncomfortable, so to speak, or a place that you have been realizing is no longer providing you with the opportunities, and you want to explore more. You want to go outside because look how beautiful it is. But it might feel still a little bit scary to go outside. Maybe you've stepped out on into the yard. Maybe you've gone on some walks. Maybe you've explored around the house a little bit, but you still like to go back inside the house. But I think that your next level is going to lead you to somewhere where you feel more empowered to go beyond. Why did I just hear a 3-block radius? Not saying that that's how far you'll go, but just in general, like let's say that you tend to stay within your comfort zone, whether that is with like a certain type of job or a certain type of relationship even, and that this new level that you're moving into is allowing you to try something that you haven't before, or try something even just in a different way than you have before. I think the way that you are gamifying right now is by using the little things that you have around you as like this key to unlock the little doors that feel like they pop up, that feel like they're almost like if now I'm here like pop-up ads of your fears. They're like, hello, here's a fear, here's a fear, here's a fear. Or they're almost like a backlog of things from your past, of reminders from your past. Maybe you have been going through old boxes of things to get rid of stuff, or maybe you have been just doing something to kind of purge the old. And I think a way that you are gamifying it is, or you could gamify it, is like, let's say you have a bunch of stuff that you want to get rid of. And then like maybe you want to burn some of it, or like use it as like turn some of it into something else that could be useful for something like some project that you're working on, and giving it new life. Maybe you're I'm hearing a lot of like random little noises, like a bell, or like I could hear some people outside right now. And I think that a way that you are gamifying is by I'm hearing like, not measuring Okay, yeah. So it's like when you're baking, or when you are, it's almost like creating your own recipe. That's what I'm hearing. It's like the feeling of winging it, or just experimenting in the kitchen and then finding out what happens because of that. I mean, that's the energy that I'm experiencing right now, is when you go towards this thing that you want, or like even if it's something really small. An example that's coming to my mind is, like, let's say you have something in your closet and you're like, it would be kind of cute if I turned this into a skirt, or, whatever. And you just start cutting it up and you don't really have a plan. And that in and of itself is kind of liberating, because you're just like hacking at some old thing that doesn't really matter to you anymore anyway. So like, who gives a fuck, right? And like, that's the energy that is helping you to start to care less about how things play out, because you're like, you know what? I have the power to turn things into something cool. Even if I just start drawing on a piece of paper, I could turn it into something cool, because I'm that creative and I'm that powerful. I might not have some great master artistry skills, but I am creative. Hopefully this is making sense. I think that it will. Okay, so for your next level strength, this is really giving like, you are a badass and like, you're wearing whatever you want. You're drawing. You are painting on the canvas of your life in the way that you want. Like, if you want to wear a leotard that looks like a tiger, go right ahead. If you want to do ballet or be a power lifter, or if you want to explore the world, or if you feel like, whatever makes you feel empowered and strong, there's nothing that you cannot do. And you're starting with like these really tiny baby steps right now. It's making me think actually of this video that I saw recently, and the person talked about mindfulness and how she's practicing mindfulness in the tiny daily moments of like brushing her teeth or making her bed, and how all of these little like micro moments are compounding on each other. And I think that that's something that you are doing right now in your house, so to speak, in your comfort zone, wherever it is that you are right now, in your little cocoon, in your goo phase. And sometimes you might feel like you need to be in your like strong empowered, can do anything, can conquer the world, can travel to any country at a moment's notice, or can, I don't know, do whatever it is that you think would be really empowering right now. But all of the little things that you have been doing, like if you even look back a month ago, a year ago, could you do those things? Could you do the things back then that you can do now? I think that you are enjoying more of your daily moments of the little things, and like pouring gratitude into your life. And that is another way that you are bringing in this new level of strength. Okay. Hang on just a second. I'm back. I just had to find your tarot deck. Okay, so this is going to give us a little bit more clarity on where you are now and where you're going. Where is how to going? Their next level. What do they want to experience in this next level? This next chapter. I think you might be feeling some level of hesitation, and a message that I'm hearing is that is okay. Okay, that's super interesting. Yeah. So that it's okay to be where you are. And like fully embrace this version of you, this level, and get to know every little nook and cranny of it. You might feel like you're going a little stir crazy sometimes, or like you want to throw your hands up, throw in the towel. And your only job right now is to listen to yourself, to whatever is coming up in your energy. Your only job is to just do those like little fun, playful things if your energy allows you to as well. Like if you don't feel like playing a game, if your energy resources are like, you know what? Nah. Like I don't feel that creative right now. Like even just like drawing on a piece of paper, or even just doing some of the basic human things feel really hard for me, then it's okay to honor that. And you don't have to force it to be force your energy to be bigger than it is what I'm hearing. Like, it's kind of like, what I'm hearing is like when you have a child who is shy and people are like, don't be shy, like be more like look people in the eye, or like give them it's like they're trying to make the child not be shy, or tried to make the child be more extroverted or something. It's like, okay, or we can just accept the child as they are, allow them to be a little bit nervous because adults are scary and big and this child is not familiar with this environment. And I think that it's okay for you to acknowledge your own path, your own journey, and that you're getting better and better at doing that, even when other people might try to rush you or try to tell you that the way you're doing it is wrong in some way. Like, no, haven't you heard of doing it like this? And this is going to be so much better. And you're like, okay, well, I've tried it like that, and that just makes it worse for me. That just makes it harder for me. And that's showing up even over here in this, that you are accepting more that you don't work at the speed of light. The Eight of Wands in the upright is like very fast moving. It's very much like everything it's like all together now. And it's not to say that you don't ever move quickly or that you aren't capable of moving your energy towards things that you care about, but you're not doing it because other people say so. I think that this is showing you that you're more accepting of the pace that you take. You're embracing this season that you're going to be in, because it's going to be awesome, first of all. And it's kind of like when people go on vacation, but they're like not actually vacationing. They're like running around trying to see everything, or climb a mountain and swim across the ocean and paraglide and see everything that was ever built in that place and eat at every restaurant and like, you're going to be living a much more eat, pray, love type of a life. And if you have not seen that movie, 10 out of 10 would recommend. You are going to be embracing your soft, slow, gentle, yummy life of no need to rush, no need to force anything. It will happen for me. And a way that you are gamifying, like, it even is like picking up the like little treasures along the way, that you are maybe even like starting a collection, or it's making me think of the other day I was on a bike ride and my nephew, he wanted to shove like every rock in his pocket. Like every rock was a treasure to him. And I think that that is how you are going to feel, is that everything that you see, everything that you experience is like an absolute treasure to you. And all of your life feels a much more magical. Like this guy, look at his pocket. It's so, like, it's about to burst. It's so full. Your life is going to be so full. I think that it already is. And that might be part of the reason why you feel the need to rest. It's full, and maybe there are some things that you're learning to let go of because you don't want it to be full of some of those things. You're like, you know what? Actually, I don't want to carry that anymore. Yeah. And this is how you're going to bridge the gap. The infinite ocean of ideas we're all allowed to swim in. Yeah. No, I want to get another card for you guys. Another. How are you? Ooh, oh. Queen of Cups. Yeah. You're bridging the gap by. It's funny that she's in this lake or pond or whatever. This says we're all allowed to swim in. That you are truly basking in your emotional abundance. And that is bringing in other types of abundance as well. That you're bridging the gap and leveling up, you're gamifying by drinking out of your fancy cup. Like, instead of just drinking out of whatever normal cups you have, you're picking the goblet or your favorite mug. You are, because you've slowed down, you're doing little things that add that bit of spice to your life. And sparkle. Now I'm thinking of Rainbow Sparkle from My Little Pony. And then that took me to this particular scene from Stranger Things where Dustin and, oh shoot, what's her name? Oh, the little sister are having an argument. There are two characters having an argument about My Little Pony and what it means to be a nerd. And basically what I'm getting from this is that you are embracing that you are a nerd, that you have things that you are passionate about, and whatever it is that lights you up, that gets you fired up. And like, maybe you really like to dress up in costumes and maybe you like to learn about a specific type of dragon. That is very specific. Whatever it is for you that you are using that and following that now to get you to this level up. Okay, let's look at any pitfalls to look out for and cheat codes or power-ups. We have show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius, and we have hedge, potential, boundaries, and indecision. Okay, this makes me think of when you are playing some sort of game, like a video game, and you go around in the game and you're just exploring. If you were to die in the game, you would start back at the beginning and you would know not to go in that direction that had made you die. Or you would know, like, you could try it again in a different way. And I think that what you're realizing is, like, to not take your decisions quite so seriously. That every decision that you make is only giving you more information for how to do it in the next round. That sure, like, maybe you'll crash out, maybe you'll quote unquote die, maybe you'll need to go through another checkpoint or whatever it is. Or like go back to the checkpoint, I guess, in this analogy. But each time you make a decision of any kind, it is helping you to figure out, to learn the game. And if you don't make any decisions, then how are you possibly going to learn that level of the game, to explore that level of the game? And that's the whole point. And you're starting to apply that more to your life. That, okay, sure, if I, even down to like, oh, if I eat these types of foods, how does it make my body feel? Or if I do spend time with these people, how do I feel? And you're paying more attention to those types of things instead of getting so bogged down in the like, should I make this decision or not? You realize that you can just go with it and see how it plays out. Gain some more data for your experiment. And for show the world the real you, I think another power up or cheat code is you're realizing that your authenticity, the like most honest version of you, the most authentic, real version of you is your greatest cheat code. That it is the most magnetic, abundant, potent thing that you have access to, and you're figuring out how to show that on a larger scale. And that's helping you to get access to the things that you want. Even if it's just things like in interactions with people closer to you, like the more honest you are, the more authentic you are with those people, the quicker it is for you to either realize that those people don't fit in your life or that they do. And it feels less what's the word? Like a personal attack. You're like, oh, okay, like I was being my authentic self. I was being honest, and that person, it didn't align with them. It didn't align with me. And I'm so glad that I know that. It might still hurt. It might still be hard because you cared about that person, or at least a past version of you aligned with them in some way. There might be little bits of you that are still having a hard time letting go. But at the end of the day, you are honoring yourself first, trusting yourself more. And that is like the greatest tool in your tool belt. That like the boundaries that you're setting around what is for you and what is not are helping you also with that like indecision. It doesn't feel so much like indecision anymore as refining your preferences, refining your values, and your, what's the word? Like you're just honing in on your core frequency. And I think that those are going to be your greatest cheat codes. So that's what I have for you today, Pile 2. Thank you for being here for this reading. I've really enjoyed doing this for you. If you have enjoyed, if you found value in this, I would appreciate it if you would like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out the links below in the description if you're interested in a personal reading. I would love to do one for you. Thanks so much for being here. Love you. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose this raccoon magician, then this is your reading. So first, I'm going to invite you to create your own game for this reading. And that could be a bingo card or an I Spy. I think those are probably your two best bets. Of like words or pictures, images, whatever, of things that you think could be in this reading. And then you could put like stickers or something on it as you find those things in the reading. Obviously, you don't have to do that, but I thought it would be fun. Then we're going to look at your current level. Where are you currently in your game that is life, the game of life? And how are you already gamifying? Then we're going to look at what is your next level. And then how can you bridge the gap and gamify even more? Then we're going to look at some pitfalls to look out for, and as well as cheat codes and power-ups that you could use to help you along your journey. So let's get your cards. This is going to be where you are currently. This is your next level. And this is the bridge between the two. Then we're going to get tarot to clarify each of those. So looking at where you are right now and this squirrel, you know, this squirrel reminds me of a squirrel that I have had in my backyard that's come to visit me throughout the summer. And I would be laying in my hammock and he would come and visit. And I decided to give this squirrel a name. So maybe one of the ways that you are currently gamifying in your life is simply by giving random objects or animals or furniture, your car, whatever things in your life, even experiences, names. And that is helping to make it feel more like your world, your landscape that you're designing for yourself. I think you're currently in a place of being much more free-spirited than you have in the past. Much more playful and inventive. The card that came out is the Lovers. That could include romantic relationships, friendship, like a close friendship that you're building, and it can also be the relationship that you're building with yourself. I think that you are feeling more in harmony with yourself. That is so interesting that you're also like your next level is connection. Your energy just feels so warm and hopeful. I think that whether you're experiencing that right now or that's something that you are hoping to find, which I think we all are, that this is something that you can claim for yourself because it's very much inside of you. Okay, as for your next level, we have connection and then we have 6 of Wands. Also beautiful. I think that you're going to, this is feeling a little bit like an internal world type of a thing that you might be practicing more or experiencing more of this on a day-to-day basis for yourself, with yourself, maybe people who are the closest to you. And then that is going to start transpiring or translating, I guess, into your external reality even more. Just checking to see if that's in frame. And that you're going to start receiving your more recognition for the work that you have done internally, for the seeds that you've planted before now. They're going to grow. They are already growing. They're in process. And your next level is how you are. It's giving like you were running the race, and I'm seeing you like skipping, and then like you cross the finish line and you're like, woohoo, like I made it. But you're not like out of breath. It was more so like you were enjoying the like last stretch of the race. And then this level is the person like putting the medal around your neck and you standing on the podium. And whether you're like actually training for a race or you have something that you're preparing for, like a test or something where you would actually receive an award of some sort, I think that you might receive more external recognition. Maybe people will give you gifts of some sort. I mean, the holidays are coming up, but less expected, or I mean, even expected, even expected's not the right word. Like, it's going to feel like people are seeing you, but it's not necessarily that you need that recognition. But that you are allowing yourself to receive it more fully, and that when you do receive it, you are appreciating it because you're appreciating it in a way that you haven't before. Like it's sinking in more deeply because of the way that you have connected with yourself. Yeah. And as for how you're bridging the gap and how you can gamify even more in your life to create that, the Emperor. So we have ride ends, choose arm position. I think that you are somebody who has a way of making the experience, it's like if there was a disaster, if there was something really hard going on, you would have a way of making it fun. You would turn it into the roller coaster ride instead of the doom and gloom horror fest. Or, I mean, maybe you're into horror. and that's what you are embracing. But my point is that what you're experiencing or how you're bridging the gap is by channeling the part of you that is a leader, and you don't take on other people's energy. You are the energy. You're the one who guides the energy of the room, or it's like the energy of the room changes to your channel. When you walk into the room, everything elevates. And some ways that you're doing that is by what's this word I'm looking for? It's like reverse engineer. That's not it. It's like when somebody like Uno reverse somebody, like if somebody throws something at you that feels a little bit icky or a little bit like, I don't think that's what we're going for. That's not the vibe we're going for here. Then you're like having fun with challenging yourself or turning it into like, how could I make this more lighthearted, more fun, more playful? An example might be that like somebody's like really stressed out about something at work. And then it's not that you're like dismissive or ignoring their situation. Not that at all. You acknowledge them, you give them you're like attuned to their emotions, but you don't need to take it on. You instead are like catching it in front of yourself as if the energy were a ball, and then flipping it around and turning it into confetti. You know what this is reminding me of, this energy? It's taking me a second to like ground this message, but it's kind of reminding me of when Professor, oh no, I know his name, come on. Well, in Harry Potter, when they're all learning how to deal with a boggart, and they're in front of the wardrobe changing their fears into something funny. Like, oh, it's Professor Snape, and now he's suddenly wearing grandma clothes. Or it's a spider, but now it's wearing tap shoes, etc. That you have this gift to turn things into something funny, and that is a way to gamify more in your life. And I think that you're practicing with people who like maybe it's not as difficult to do it with. Like there might be some people in your life that it's harder for you to do that with, that might be a little bit more might challenge you more. So you practice with others, and then the other people feel like a higher level, and you work on it with them when your resources are at a greater level. I hope this is making sense. I think that you have a way of flipping the script quite naturally, and you may not even realize it. But you are becoming more adept at doing it intentionally, and it's actually becoming quite fun for you. Okay, let's look at some pitfalls or power-ups, cheat codes that might come along the way, and how you can look out for those and use them to your advantage. Okay, we have look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Oh, I said Aquarius. Okay, B, community, cooperation, sweetness. Okay. So looking at the bigger picture, again, I think that you are actually quite good at like zooming out and not getting so bogged down in other people's stuff and even in your own. Obviously, there still might be moments when you do, and that's totally okay. But then you're able to come back around and turn around, just realize that it isn't that serious. And like, let's say somebody's stressing out about a vacation that they're about to take, and oh, like this person is gonna, like really wants to do that, and this person really wants to do this, and I don't know about that, yada yada. And you, instead of like getting into all the nitty gritty of it all, you kind of zoom out from it and see the whole thing and give that person and yourself, you're like, yeah, you know what? Like, you almost offered that person and yourself a gift of so let me just give you an example. So with the same example of the person that you're talking to is stressing out about a vacation. There are all these people going, and they aren't that excited about going on this trip. There are lots of things that feel overwhelming. They're concerned about the food that's going to be available to them. They're concerned about the travel time. They're concerned about a lot of the things on the itinerary. And you tell this person, you know what? You have a gift, and it's called JOMO, the joy of missing out. And you don't have to do everything that other people are doing. And in this exchange, this conversation that you have with this person who's stressed out about the trip, it's like not only are you acknowledging this person and their stress, but you're also pointing out to them a gift that they have and a way that they can use that in other areas of their life. and that it doesn't have to be such a big deal. Like, we can get so stressed out about other people's feelings. Like, oh, I'm not going to be at everything, and so-and-so is going to be offended. It's like, okay, well, that's that person's problem. And actually, by you being authentic to yourself, it has this domino effect. And I think that you are going to notice that more and more. Community, cooperation, and sweetness. And I think that that is part of this B card as well, that you have just a natural sweetness, that you do naturally want to be a part of the hive, I guess. However, I think that more people gravitate towards you and learn from your example of caring less about the things that aren't going to matter in 5 minutes, in a week, in a month, in a year. And it's interesting that I've been very, like, I keep coming back to this same part of the energy. I think that it's an important message for you. And I think that another thing is that overall, you're passing on, like, some people can get really concerned about, like, oh, like, what's my legacy, or what's my meaning and my purpose. And you have a way of, while yes, like, creating meaning and purpose, but it's not such a, like, this is the only way I can do it, and if I make this one decision, it will be set in stone forever. Like, that you glide and pivot, glide and pivot. Like, you can switch things up, try things a different way. And the reason I'm saying this is because within a beehive, like, ultimately, what does a bee offer to its hive or its community? And what does one bee really mean in the grand scheme of things? And you might say not much. But if that one bee didn't do anything, didn't do its work, I guess, then it wouldn't, like, if all the bees just were like, you know what, I'm just gonna give up and not build the hive, then the hive wouldn't get built. And perhaps you could say that building the hive didn't need to happen in the first place. But it's like, we're all a part of the ecosystem. And this is important, an important message for somebody. I think that you are realizing that you can just experience being alive, and that's enough. That you don't have to solve all the world's problems. That your contribution is enough, no matter what it is. Thanks for being here, Pile 3. This is what I have for you today. If you have appreciated this reading, I would be so grateful if you would like, comment, subscribe, stick around for other readings. Check out the links below in the description if you are interested in a personal reading. I would love to do one for you. Thanks so much. Love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 4. If you chose this Magician card that's from the Everyday Witch Tarot, then this is your reading. So first, I'm going to invite you to create your own game for this reading. Of course, you do not have to do this, but I think it would be fun. You can do this by setting up a bingo card or an I Spy game for yourself that includes things like signs or synchronicities or whatever your language with the universe is of things that you might see in the reading, and then like cover up the little bingo squares with stickers or some type of object that you have around to make it a fun little game for yourself during this reading. Then we're going to look at your current level of a gamification, like where you are currently and how you are already gamifying your life. Then we're going to look at your next level and how you can gamify to bridge the gap between the two. And then we're going to look at some pitfalls you can look out for, as well as cheat codes and power-ups to help you along your journey. Let's get your cards. This is where you are currently, the Wolf. And then you got 2 cards for your next level, Dependence and Wisdom, which I found is an interesting pair. And then in between, or to bridge the gap, we have just throw time at it until it's a thing. Okay, so we'll start with those and get some clarifying cards. What I'm seeing for where you are right now, your current level, is that the first message I am hearing is that you are becoming a master of your craft, whatever that might be, and learning to trust yourself more fully as you step into or like embrace where you are right now. That there might have been a season in your life where you were learning how to do this thing and you were just a newbie, or you didn't even know that you wanted to do this thing, but now you're more fully embracing that you do want to do this thing, or that you are actually pretty good at it, that you have the skills and you're becoming more seasoned. Oh, that's so funny. This is the clarifying card, the Fool. And with that, like becoming more seasoned, more skilled person, you're also like one of the best indicators that you are actually good at something is by allowing yourself to make mistakes. You allow yourself to be the student as much as you allow yourself to be the teacher. That you never think, oh, I've learned everything I can. And it's also reminding me of this quote that says, you know that you understand something really well if you can explain it at the level that a child could understand it. And I think that you are reaching a point in whatever this is that you're allowing yourself to, that like if something wasn't working out the way that you wanted it to, that you could just like start from scratch, take a leap of faith and give it another try in a different way. Like, let's say that you really enjoyed writing something, like you're writing a book and you're like, you know what, like this chapter or even like the whole thing wasn't working out for you. So instead of like getting bogged down in that writing, you maybe like flipped it on its head and or even like took a writing prompt from a different genre, or took inspiration from someone who, like, I'm thinking of, for example, like my nephew, he writes, and I'm so inspired by him because he just has this like very rich inner world. And I think that you could have that happening to you, where you're just being open to hearing from different types of people, even people that aren't in your world, like a part of your craft. Because you know when to apply certain rules, or how you could experiment with things in a different way. And that's another way that you kind of gamify your life as well. It's kind of like if you were to like rip up a piece of paper and then put it back together and turn it into a mosaic. I mean, I guess that would be, you could do that with like glass or like different materials. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting, is like reimagining something with maybe the same materials, but in a different light, looking at them in a different light. And as for where you are going, the level up that you're going to experience, dependence and wisdom is so interesting together. I think that you are realizing the line between codependency and hyperdependence, and how to find more interdependence in your life. how to find more opportunities to involve people. It's like delegating or cooperation, involving people who are giving you of their skills as much as you give of your skills. Making me think of Skillshare or like trading, stuff like that. And finding opportunities to celebrate other people's successes as well as your own. That you have worked hard to develop these crafts. Interesting. Four of Swords. This is to help us clarify dependence. And to help us clarify wisdom. Ooh, we got two jumping out at us. We have the Devil and Ace of Wands. Just gonna scooch these over here. Like this. Okay, yeah, I think that there could have been some devil energy hanging out under the surface, and could be right now. In this next chapter of your life, you have a much clearer perspective on this. And it, like, this dependence and wisdom is really honing in on who, what, how, why, the who, what, how, and why of your energy and where it's going. That you're not depleting yourself in the same way that you were before. That you also don't feel like you have to fight. I heard like you're laying down your sword. You don't feel like you have to fight so hard to get what you want or what you even what you need, because you have a lot more of a support system around you. And it's going to be easier for you to rest easy that those people have your back, that they're supporting you just like you are supporting them. You're opening yourself up more to trust. Yeah. And this Ace of Wands, I think as you are stepping into this next chapter of more interdependence and more just having more support for you, that you're not like, while yes, you are honing your craft right now, this Ace of Wands is like another level unlocked of that creativity. And you're going to feel more tapped in, more in the zone, like you're able to dedicate even more of your life force energy to what you care about because you feel safer and more supported to do so. And as for this, like, bridging the gap and how you're going to gamify to get yourself to this more supported place, it says just throw time at it until it's a thing. I think that you are already doing so much that's getting you where you want to go. And that it is a lot about just continuing to follow the yellow brick road, so to speak, continuing on that same trajectory. And perhaps there is like you will have more things made clear to you as you like take the next steps. But right now it's really is just about, okay, I just dropped like a bunch of cards on the floor. Let's see. It really is about like putting your head down and dedicating your time to what you care about. And like, it's interesting that I said like put your head down. I think that is involving that there might be like some distractions that you have in your life right now that will make you feel like what you are doing isn't important, or what you're doing is not helping, won't help anyone, or that it won't become what you want it to become, whatever, or it could literally be something like, social media, something like that. Whatever type of distraction. And each time you're just like, okay, well, that happened again, and back at it. But like at the end of the day, you still know what it is that you want to accomplish, and you're going to get there because you have that perseverance, you have that dedication, and you're going to keep rolling the rock up the mountain, or whatever analogy it is that you want to use. And the clarifying card that you got for this is the World, which I think is perfect because it is going to open up more possibilities for you than you can even imagine right now. That whatever you're picturing in your mind's eye of how this project that you're working on, how your craft, how your dream is going to open doors for you, is going to even just like be fulfilling for you as an individual, that like each time you do one stroke on your canvas, it unlocks the next stroke on the canvas. And the next one, and the next one. And every single time, it's like this deep fulfillment unraveling inside of you. That there was like this energy building up inside of you for a long time that wanted to go somewhere, and now you are giving it space to live through you. and become what it wanted to become. And little by little, like the more that you are taking these steps towards and creating more, it's becoming more clear what it is you're creating. Like you might not even know exactly what it is that you want to create yet. Maybe today all you're doing is cleaning your bedroom or dancing to your favorite music, putting a sticker on your water bottle that you've been saving for a long time. But all of those like little things that you're doing are helping to like unravel this energy and direct it in the way that it will help you become this conduit of creation. Wow, some powerful messages for you. Pile 4 makes sense. Last but definitely not least. Okay, let's look at what are some pitfalls to look out for and some of your cheat codes and power-ups. We have emotions are running high, supermoon. And we have mint, abundance, persistence, and proliferation. Persistence is definitely standing out. I think that you are very persistent. Did I even say that earlier? Okay, emotions are running high. When your emotions are running high, this is a message that's coming through quite clearly, is that you, first of all, that is a sign that you are tuning in more to your inner world, and you have the chance to direct that towards your, like, use it as fuel for whatever it is that you want to create. If you are fueling something through anger or passion or sadness or whatever emotion it is that you're experiencing, you might create something different. But all of it will be worthwhile, and you might start to explore more of what these emotions offer you. And I think that that's going to be one of your biggest cheat codes, actually. It might feel like it's a pitfall. It might feel like, oh no, like I'm feeling this emotion again. I'm falling into the pit of despair. But actually, your cheat code is that you know how to alchemize that shit. You know how to turn it on its head and channel it into creation. That like, Anna, I'm feeling like a trash panda right now. I feel really heavy. I feel really low. I feel like I'm on death's doorstep right now. And of course, like, care for yourself. But I guess that's my point, is that you are learning how to use your emotions to care for yourself. That they are signals to you to care deeply for yourself and for what you're creating. And I think another giant cheat code that you have is that not everything that you create has to be your favorite thing that you've ever made. But you're making a lot more stuff. This word proliferation, prolific, being a prolific creator, that you're writing stuff, you're drawing stuff, you're painting stuff, you're dancing it out, you're speaking stuff into the universe, whatever your form of creation might be, that you're moving that energy out into the world and experimenting with how it feels moving through you. And you don't have to show it all to everybody. In fact, you're only going to show them the people. You're only going to show the people. A small percentage, probably. But you also are going to care less that it be perfect and polished and shiny, because it's still going to feel like magic that you made something. That came from you. And that's going to be a huge catalyst to other people being able to make stuff. And that chain reaction, you're going to start noticing it, which is going to be that power up for you to want to create more. You might not hear it right away. You might not know right away that other people are creating more because of your creations, because of the example that you're setting. But they are. Just from you dressing more authentically, or sitting down with your sketchbook and they happen to, walk in the room at that time. Ooh, it inspires them. Ooh, they want more of that. And they might not even realize what happened to them witnessing you making stuff. But that's your superpower. That is your cheat code and power up for yourself, and that you're like passing it on to other people. Ooh. These are some cool messages. I was about to say chapter 4. Interesting. Pile 4. Thank you so much for being here. I've enjoyed doing this reading for you. If you have appreciated, I keep hearing random commercials coming into my head. If you have enjoyed this message, then please comment, and subscribe. If you have not already, check out the links below. If you would like a personal reading, then I would love to do one for you. Thanks so much. Love you. Bye.